How many of you have heard the phrase, if you put it on the internet, it stays there forever? Now, how many of you remember seeing something back in the day that seemingly vanished from existence? There's games that weren't preserved when Adobe Flash died, videos got deleted or weren't archived in the first place. And we stress the idea of digital permanence, yet now are trying to find all kinds of things that may be lost forever. We'll be diving into the sea of lost internet media. But first, if you're watching this before you go to bed, you know what would be helpful? A sleep mask that plays audio in your ears. Today's sponsor is Manta Sleep, a well-renowned company that makes impressive sleep masks and other sleep accessories. You can adjust nearly any part of the mask to your liking, they completely block out light, and like I said, the sound mask hooks up to any Bluetooth device and plays anything you want. It's so convenient if you fall asleep to YouTube, music, or ASMR. And legit, go on a Reddit thread about sleep mask suggestions and the vast majority will vouch for Manta. I'm currently away from home and brought two of their masks with me, Sound and Pro. I'd recommend Pro if you don't think you'd use the audio gimmick. Manta Sleep believes that great sleep is the non-negotiable foundation you need to create your best life, and that napping should not be something that's looked down upon. They consider themselves pro-nap, and I gotta say that I agree with that. Head to mantasleep.com or click the link in the description to take a look at all of the products they offer, and you can use code SomberTobogally at checkout for 10% off. Their products also do come with a 60-day money-back guarantee if you aren't satisfied, which I feel like makes the purchase less of a commitment because I know it definitely is an investment. But I genuinely think it's worth it for those that either struggle with getting good sleep or listen to audio before bed. Sweet dreams if you're going to bed right now, and if you're awake, stick around with your eyes for my great editing. Now, let's explore and get right into it.
Early to bed, early to catch the worm. Or is it the bagel?
We've probably all seen traumatizing things on the internet, and the stipulations for what constitutes traumatizing for a child is much more minuscule. Guacamole Nightmare TV turned to the Lost Media subreddit hunting down a Super Mario World Show YouTube poop that they cited as gory and depressing. I'm going to censor some words so YouTube won't get mad, sorry. The title was along the lines of Luigi Unalives Yoshi Extremely Sad by a channel they recalled as Porkaboo, and believed it was uploaded in late 2009. It started like the Mama Luigi episode of the show,
Mama? Mama Luigi?
until Yoshi asks for the bedtime story.
Tell Yoshi bedtime story now.
Luigi stares blankly in response, which turns into a mad grin with Yoshi looking horrified. The expressions looked like they were done in MS Paint. He punctures Yoshi off screen as it cuts to an exterior shot with thunder and lightning playing. It then cuts back to Luigi leaving the scene with an evil expression and Bowser's laugh from Hotel Mario playing. It shows a close-up of Yoshi's body covered in blood with a halo around his head and X's for eyes. A montage of Yoshi's life ensues using stills from the show and set to My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. The credits are Windows Movie Maker style and ends with the words, "We will miss you, Yoshi." OP remembers commenters who were upset by the video, with one specifically saying something like, "Yoshi may be a cartoon character, but this is just cruel. I bet this guy would love to see a cat get, or a dog being run over." They assumed the feedback was what caused the creator to delete the video, but said how they're fascinated with their disturbing childhood media memories, so hoped someone could find evidence of it existing. At first, some brushed this off as a fake post, but the details OP provided are really specific, and I mean it surely wouldn't be the craziest video that was uploaded to YouTube. A user remembered it as well, adding the thumbnail was Yoshi with his tongue out and crossed out eyes. Others' recollections can't always help find it, and there's an ungodly amount of YouTube poops that will never resurface. After someone searched for the exact title though, it was somehow traced back to a completely unrelated site that also listed the duration, upload date, and part of the description. The uploader made an edit after 3 years, saying it had way too many views, so I suspect it was deleted in 2011. The link wasn't archived though, and it was thought to be a lost cause. Until a few months later, when the view count and thumbnail were found. If you go to another Mama Luigi YouTube Poops archive date of March 4th, 2011, specific I know, and gaze your eyes to the right, there it is. I gotta hand it to OP for getting the details correct, and this user was right about the thumbnail. As of now, this is all we have, but it's still a glimmer of hope for seeing this masterpiece someday. If you grew up in the early 2000s, I'm sure you saw a fair share of terrifying Gushers commercials.
What's so shocking about Gushers' newest flavor? Oh yeah! Triple berry shot Gushers!
Some were for the Redo Your Room sweepstakes hosted in the summer of 2005, where children could be entered for a chance to win 10 grand to refurbish their entire room.
Many will enter, 2 kids will win grand prizes, hundreds more will win other cool stuff.
I couldn't find any evidence of either of the promised 2 grand prize winners, but oh well. Make your way down to the bottom of the label of a 2005 Gushers box and you'll notice text that reads, "Find the code on your pouch, then head to gushersredoyourroom.com and unlock a ton of revamping fun and games," but warns you about the blue goo explosion. Type in that URL today, and it actually just redirects you to the Lost Media Wiki article on it, but between the years of 2005 and 2009, it'd bring you to this screen, where you could start the process of creating your own room. Or for those who already had one, would take the express elevator and enter their floor, room number, and username. It seems to have been a typical room decorating game, with the exception of 2 things. Players collecting exclusive items from codes on Gushers packaging, and the blue goo explosion likely being related to the fact players could mess up each other's rooms, if they had the necessary info to enter via the elevator. In the age of Yahoo Answers, someone inquired about other players, saying they would not ruin anyone's room, and just wanted to check out people's decor and become friends. Update: Molliflower, you suck. I promised you that I wouldn't hack into your room, and so you hacked into mine. Good luck when you go back into your room. I can play that game too. Smirk. Please, someone nice respond, not someone that is gonna hack, please. And Molliflower, you told me my room was lame, huh? Well then why did you have the same furniture as me? Gotta love the older internet, it was a simpler time. Nothing remains other than the homepage and elevator buttons. If you enter anyone's floor number that was given on that Yahoo Answers post, it will lead you to a black screen with audio of children laughing. The laughing changed every time I entered a different number. A little odd, but it's believed that it used to show a hallway, presumably with other characters, making the laughter less creepy. It shut down in 2009, and Echoverse left a comment detailing the SWF files that weren't saved and would all be needed to restore the game to a playable state. This same person reached out to General Mills and was informed they no longer have internal access to the game. I could find 0 recordings of it online, or other images besides the main pages with the lovely anthropomorphic fruit. Here is a tidbit of evidence on what the goo was, though. This Reddit user said people's rooms would get wrecked because their password clue was their favorite color, which could only be so many options. They would guess blue, and leave presents that exploded goo everywhere. We obviously know the mechanics of how the game worked, however, it's probably never going to be playable again. Dr. Dre Hates Fans was a 2011 YouTube video that became infamous amongst hip-hop forums and was later shared in subreddits like deep into YouTube. It seems to be an inside joke in the music boards, but has been referred to as eerie, and all aboard the Nope train to fuck thatville on Reddit, so make of that what you will. No matter how you interpreted it, The video left viewers perplexed. The uploader, the Genius Machine, deleted it in 2021 along with his channel, and it wasn't archived by anyone as far as we know. We do have blurry frames that were saved by scrubbing what was left on way back, so let's dive into what happened in this fabled video, or what I could gather based on what is legible. With a duration of 1 minute and 38 seconds, the first bit is paparazzi footage of Dr. Dre, as you might expect based on the title. But then it cuts to scenes from allegedly a French film that depicts a family traveling to the US and taking a stop at Disneyland. This part is narrated by captions and is a creepypasta-esque story about the daughter passing away in, I think, a car accident. It's nearly impossible to make out what some of this text says. It ends with, "This is the sound of Lisa Finkel crying at home. It was recorded by her father, 2 weeks after her funeral." It's presumably a Disney ghost daughter creepypasta, nothing too special, but the meme status it's received in these music forums makes me want to see it. Users on KTT2 have inquired about trying to find the full video, some being in disbelief that no one saved it prior to its deletion. The Lisa Finkel crying sounds were also referred to as visceral screams, but according to others was a slowed down clip from Dumb and Dumber. After this commenter reached out to the Genius Machine himself, they said he was a videographer for TMZ, who made the video to promote a horror book he was writing, and that he was told by the powers that be to remove the video. Although the video in full remains lost, a truncated version of the Dr. Dre part was uploaded in 2023, and a GIF of the video's preview was discovered as well. But the Disneyland creepypasta part remains elusive and lost as of April 2024. Nintendo is no stranger to lost media. We've got the game where you'd clip Waluigi's toenails, Slamfest 99, King Koopa's cool cartoons, and a plethora of others. But something that's rarely talked about is DKTV. This was a series of promotional content for Donkey Kong 64 and hosted on its website from 1999 to 2001. Perhaps the most compelling is the DK Guerrilla Project. In the height of the Blair Witch Project's popularity, spoofs of the genre quickly became a trend, with even Scooby-Doo making one of their own.
Somebody! Anybody! Like, are you out of your mind?
Nintendo, wanting to join in on the parodies, decided to create a Blair Witch-inspired web series that followed a group of friends lost in the woods. But instead of hunting for the witch, they were searching for Donkey Kong. Testimonies of those that watched it at the time include a scene where the group reacts to a pile of bananas that they found on the ground, and the clues leading them to a cabin where they play DK64 at the end. Other series on the microsite comprised of DK Island's Most Wanted, spoofing America's Most Wanted, a web sitcom called The Real Jungle, National Kongographic that was about the main levels of the game, and Monkey Mail, where you could email flash animations to friends. Out of the confirmed content that was available on the site, only the Games channel has been fully found and archived on Flashpoint. We've got Donkey Kong, Kremling Crunch, and the DK64 lore quiz. Last but certainly not least, they hosted a rap contest where fans would submit their own version of the DK rap. The 5 runner-ups videos are lost, but the grand prize winners was posted to YouTube in 2009.
See you on the flip side in DK style.
The rest of the site remains a lost mystery, at least to those of us who never had the privilege of visiting it back in 1999 or the very early 2000s. Our next piece of the internet that's been wiped from existence is the history of SCP-048. If you don't already know, the SCP Foundation is a fictional organization that has an online wiki. Here, authors can submit stories surrounding creatures and unexplainable phenomena. The premise is to secure and contain the paranormal and supernatural entities, and to protect humanity. If you look up SCP-048, it'll lead you to the cursed number, stating items given the designation usually are destroyed, and personnel assigned to it have had a 50% higher rate of turnover due to death, dismemberment, and disciplinary action. This entire entry is actually just a meta way of making fun of the hilariously terrible stories that were continuously being written and deleted in the spot of 48. The first was Joey, a talking dog that would become angry and violent if you referred to him as anything other than Joey. However, if given an apology, is very forgiving. SCP-048, Joey, was to be given fully furnished living quarters, and any reading, movies, or television he asked for is to be granted, so long as it was released prior to his containment in 2005. After this got deleted, it was replaced by a story called The Edge of Twilight. This is where the lost media starts, since Joey is the only SCP that was saved prior to deletion. Nothing is known about the Edge of Twilight, except it might have something to do with the vampire boat that has continuously been brought up in reference to 48's history. The next was a normalizer, followed by Necklace of Greed. Finally, in February 2009, after both of these were still very cringe-inducing, someone got fed up and gave it the cursed number title, which is what it has stayed as. The mystifying tales other than Joey are lost, and I wish I knew what the contents of those stories were. In 2006, Tamagotchi decided to release a Webkinz-type flash game for their toys. If you had a Tamagotchi Connection version 3 or newer, you could go to the website Tamatown, where you'd explore a virtual version of Tamagotchi Town. It allowed players to collect items that could be brought back to their actual connection device using codes distributed via the site. It was a seriously fleshed out game. There was an interactive school, an arcade to play minigames and win prizes at, the mall which had 3 different shops, the food court where you could eat or pick up a shift at the local burger joint. That wasn't even the end of it, as Tamagotchi Connections version 4 and version 4.5 would unlock additional features on the website, like a gym, extra work buildings, shops, and a handful more. Regardless of Tamatown becoming a beloved game amongst players, 7 years later in 2013, the servers were shut down permanently. This understandably left avid Tamagotchi fans upset, since there was seemingly no way to ever play the game again. Through community efforts, the URL was purchased and turned into a fan site, and there's been several attempts at rebuilding Tamatown with what SWF files were archived. Since many of the files are still lost though, it's proven to be difficult. Part of the soundtrack has luckily been recovered, so we aren't ending this entry off on a completely lost note. They're all very catchy and cute. I'm sure the discovery of this music provides the Tamagotchi community with hope. Maybe one day Tamatown can be entirely rebuilt and a piece of digital history preserved.
And that's cool. And that's pretty much all there is to say.
Let's end this video with the very beginning of YouTube. It's widely known this was the first ever upload to the site. Jod, the uploader, is the co-founder of YouTube, which I imagine is how he got that #1 spot. Go to his channel today and this is the only video. But within the first 5 years of YouTube's existence, Jod uploaded at least 136. He'd habitually post videos, then not long after delete them. This lost history of literally the co-founder of YouTube piqued the curiosity of media archivists, and people are trying to find as much as possible of his deleted content. His videos consisted of vlog-ish videos documenting his day-to-day life, footage of planes and trains, his adorable dog Yoda, himself rolling down a hill, or his version of Numa Numa.
No, not gonna happen.
The reasons behind him not keeping any videos up other than the meet at the zoo are unknown. There's speculation that it's as simple as he wasn't satisfied with the quality of them, or that there's a deeper reason having to do with his disdain for certain YouTube policy changes. Some of the lost videos that interest me most are Crushing My Camera, Do You Have Hookers?, Awesome Science Experiment, and especially This Hand Dryer Displaces Flesh. Seems like a cool guy. Not even half of his uploads have been found, and there are a decent amount we don't know the titles to. Jod's YouTube legacy definitely is a mystery. I hope you enjoyed my curated list of the more obscure side of lost internet media. Someone who grew up on the earlier days of the internet, it's a topic that's really interesting to me. Let's wish for some of these to be found one day so we can relish their newfound existence. Thank you.